Okay, so we've been given a question dealing with pattern relationships, and we have to find the many different ways that we can combine $5 and $2 coins to create $100. The very first one we did is we're going to start with our highest possible $5 bill count and our lowest possible $2 coin count. So on the assumption that we have no coins at all, only bills, you guys figured out that way we need 25 times 20 gives us 100, or 100 divided by 5 gave us 20. You can reverse that relationship, okay? Let's say we went down one, okay? So we know this pattern works. We'll give it a check. So we're going to continue by going down by 1 in $5 bills and figure out how much we'll need to go up by in $2 coins. So let's say we had 19 $5 bills. How much money would we have if we had 19 $5 bills?
95.
That's right. We'd have 95. Now, can we use an amount of $2 coins to get to 100?
No.
What would be closest, would you say?
We could go 98 or 101, I think.
We could go not 98, but 99 and 101. And how many coins would I need to get to 99? In other words, how much more money would we need here to equal $99? If we have $95,
oh wait, 4.
Yeah, we need 4, right? And which is how many coins?
2.
2. So we know 2 coins gives us 99. Or what does 3 coins give us?
101.
101. Do those work?
No.
No. So this doesn't work for us. Okay. Let's go down one more. 18. If we have 18 $5 bills, how much money do we need?
90.
90, that's right. Well, how much money do we need to get to our total? And I'll just put that we had 99 or 101 here. Didn't really work. How much more money do we need? $10. $10. And how can we create $10 with $2 coins? How many?
5.
5. Exactly. We need 5 of those. And that's going to add up to exactly $100 for us. So that worked. Okay? We'll continue this pattern one more step, and then I'm going to see if you guys can kind of guesstimate where we need to go from that. So let's say we go down to 17. 17 5s. Do you know what that would be?
85.
That's right. Can we use any specific number of $2 coins to get to 100?
No.
No. Why? How much money do we need?
We need $15.
$15. And does 2 go evenly into $15?
No.
No. So it'll either, again, give us 99 or $101, right? And those amounts of money, do you know what those amounts, how many coins we need to get to 99? It's a tougher question.
Like
7 would be exact. Yeah, 7 exactly right. Or what would get us to 101? Sorry.
8.
8. Neither of those work, right? Not for at least what we want to do. So now let's go to 16. Okay? 16. 16 5s is going to give us what?
80.
80. How much more money are we going to need to get to 100?
$20.
20. And how many $2 coins will we need? Exactly. Okay. So we've started this chart, and this chart's going to take a bit to go through. Now, what's important is this one and this one didn't work for us, okay? But we have 3 that do. So what I'm going to do is highlight them, okay? And we're going to see if we can draw a pattern from the 3 that are highlighted, okay? So I know it looks messy because we have 2 lines that didn't work. But what did we drop by, or what did we move by with the $5 bills every time?
2.
2. And we went up or down?
Down.
Down. We went down 2 $5 bills every time, right? So our first one we went down 2, the second one we went down 2. Okay? Does that make sense? What about our $2 coins? What was it changing by each time to get to a pattern that worked?
5.
5. And we went up or down 5?
Up.
Up. So we had positive 5 and positive 5. So this part's messy. What do you think the next amount of $5 bills that work will be, according to our pattern?
14.
That's right. we're going to need 14, right? And how many $2 coins are we going to need?
15.
That's right, we're going to need 15 because that's continuing our pattern of going down by 2 and up by 5. And that, again, you're 100% right, will give us $100 because 14 fives is going to be $70 and 15 $2 coins is 30, 30 and 70 is 100. So let's see if we can complete this pattern here. What do we got to drop by every time?
2.
So just start telling me what the next numbers are going to be. And then,
10.
and then
8. 6. 4. 2. 0.
0. Perfect. And we'll kind of make our chart longer here. Our totals are going to be what every time?
100.
Okay, so I'm going to do, have you ever seen anyone put little quotes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just means whatever was above is repeated. I just don't want to write it. What is our pattern going to be for our $2 coins?
20. 25.
Yeah.
30. 35. 40. 45. 50.
50. So if we have no $5 bills, how many $2 coins do we need?
50.
And does that make sense? 50 times 2 give us 100?
Yes.
Yeah, so we created our own pattern here. The tough part was kind of figuring out where to start. And where we usually start is at an extreme. So where we had all $5 bills, right? Or we could have started at the other end. We could have gone with 50 $2 coins and 0 $5 bills and taken the pattern in the other direction, discovering that we would have had to go down by 5 and up by 2 every time. Okay, so the starting point didn't really matter, but we actually just created the entire chart, so you have every single answer right now, and it didn't take that long once we learned the pattern, right?
Yeah.
We're able to make it relatively quickly with that. Okay, step 2 of this is they want us to graph it. Okay, now we have 1, 2, 3 sections, but we're used to graphing with just 2, and we're only going to graph with 2 because it takes much farther in math before we start graphing with 3 things. Okay, so what we want to do is find out what 2 things are changing and what thing is probably staying constant. What is staying constant in this?
The total.
The total. The total is always our $100, right? Minus the 2 versions that didn't work. Once we got our pattern, the total stayed the same. So we actually don't include that in the graph. Because if something's staying constant on a graph, here's just a rough sketch, it's just going to be a horizontal or a vertical line. One of those two if it's constant. So we need to deal with what's actually changing in this one. So I'm going to jump to a new page very quickly. Okay, and we're going to set up a graph here. Okay, and what I'll do, the 2 things that are changing were $5 bills, right? So that's going to be our, you guys call this a y-axis? Do you guys call that? Okay. And our x-axis will be our $2 coins. So that's where we're going to measure these things. So we're going to measure $2 coins versus $5 bills. Okay, and we know we start at 0. And what we have to do, is I'm going to have to jump back here, is first of all we want to find a range. Do you guys know what a range is? Never heard of a range before?
No.
Okay, a range is like the highest or lowest something will go. So for $5 bills, our highest was 20 and our lowest was 0. And for $2 coins, our lowest was 0 and our highest was 50. Those are going to be important when creating a graph, so we know kind of what to scale it by. Okay, so in other words, with $5 bills, we know our number has to go to at least 20 on this graph, right? We know it's going to start at 0, but it needs to go at least 20 because that was our top. And for $2 coins, our lowest was 0. What was our highest? 50. So we know that this scale has to go, to at least the number 50. So we got to figure out kind of how much range we have in here. Okay, so let's see. If we were to go by 2s, that'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Not enough, but I can make it enough if I just make this bigger by 1. Now, I know you can't do that on a sheet of paper, but now I think if we go by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 18, 20. Perfect. So we've now made a scale that's going to encompass or show everything for $5 bills. So we go by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So we know we're in the entire range for $5 bills. But for $2 coins, it's a little tougher here. We got to go up to 50. So what do you think a good scale to try is?
5.
Yeah, okay, let's see if we can do it all in 5. So we go 5, then
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Ooh, we made these just perfect, okay? So, and that's going to help out a lot too, because what was our pattern going up and down by actually?
2 and 5.
Yeah, so it just so happens our scale is going by the same. And that's just because of how much room we have. That won't always be the case. It's just because of the way the page was laid out for us, okay? So, we know that these are these. What was our max $5 bills?
20.
And when we were at 20, how many $2 coins do we have?
0.
So if $2 coins are our x-axis, do you guys remember doing coordinates? Have you ever done coordinates before? That would make, if I go back here, this here, I have these in the wrong because this is my x and this is my y. Okay, so they're kind of backwards right now. But my x value would be 0 $2 coins and how many $5 bills?
20.
20. So my y would be 20. So my first coordinate would be 0 and 20. Okay. Then from there, where did we go?
We went 18 and 5.
And 5.
Or 5 and 18.
5 and 18, that's right. So our x value was 5, and our y value was
18.
18. Okay. Do you guys remember what the next one was?
10.
10, yeah. And
16.
16, that's right. As you guys recall, these were going up by 5s, and these were going down by 2. So we go over to 10, up to 16, and look at that, right? So this is going to be pretty easy. In fact, looking at our graph, what are we kind of moving by here? We're going over a square and down a square. Now, that can be misleading. A lot of times we think we're going over one, down one, but that completely depends on what our scale is. Okay, and I'm going to show you that. It's because, first of all, actually, what I'll do is I'll continue the pattern with a line. We're pretty confident if we continue this line, because it's straight. Is that crossing the points we need?
Yep.
Perfect. So we've created our graph. And what we want to point out, too, is that this is a change in our x values, so $2 coins. We went over one square on the graph, but how far is that on our scale?
5.
So we've gone positive 5 in that direction. And how much did we go down to the next point?
-2.
We went down 2. So do you notice when we go point to point, even though on our graph it's only going one box at a time, it's actually going 5 to the right, down by 2 because of the scale we made. Okay? Does that make sense on how to set up that graph? Okay. So there you go. That's everything we did for that page.